dozens of terrorists, and General Ayoub tours al-Mastouma of Idlib countryside. Syria calls on UN to take deterrent measures against the terrorist organizations and the states that back them. Dozens of victims fall in the Saudi aggression on Yemeni cities and facilities. Good afternoon. Under the directives of President Bashar al-Assad, the General Commander of the Army and the Armed Forces, Lieutenant General Ali Abdullah Ayoub, Chief of Staff of the Army and the Armed Forces, accompanied by a number of officers, conducted an inspection tour to the battlefields in al-Mastouma and the neighboring areas in Idlib countryside, and were briefed on the conditions of the combatants in the area. General Ayoub praised the high morale of the fighters, stressing that the Syrian people and the military leadership are proud of them and highly appreciate their sacrifices and heroism in defeating terrorist groups. At the end of his tour, Chief of Staff Ayoub gave his directives to the combatants, stressing the importance of being ready to carry out the national task in eradicating terrorism. Syrian Arab army units have targeted terrorist dens, killed scores of them, and destroyed 2 of their armored vehicles along Al-Sad Road in Daraa city, in the vicinity of the Engineers Building, Center of Agricultural Research, Al-Karak neighborhood, Al-Sumaqiyat in Busra al-Sham, and Da'al in Daraa's countryside. In Aleppo city, terrorist hideouts were also destroyed in the surrounding area of Handarat in Aleppo's countryside. In Idlib countryside, Syrian Arab army units have targeted terrorist dens in Qaminas, Sarmin, Kurin, Ma'arat al-Nu'man, and Kafar Ruma. Syria demanded deterrent measures by the UN against the terrorist organizations and the states backing and sponsoring them.
The Syrian demand was expressed in 2 identical letters which the Foreign and Expatriates Ministry addressed to the Chairman of the UN Security Council and the UN Secretary General. It was prompted by the bloody terrorist rocket attacks which hit Aleppo city, killing at least 19 civilians and wounding dozens others. The new crime, the letters said, came as a reaction by the regimes of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey and Jordan to the important outcomes that were reached at the recent Moscow inter-Syrian talks. The Foreign Ministry dismissed the claim that those countries are sending non-lethal weapons to the terrorists, stressing that a new type of destructive weapons seem to have been used in Aleppo attack. The ministry also named France, Britain, Jordan and the US as accomplices in backing the terrorists. The ministry demanded a Security Council non-politicized action towards enforcing counter-terrorism resolutions in deeds, not only in words. The letters also stressed the Syrian government's determination to continue fighting terrorism in Syria and defending its people by the virtue of its constitutional responsibilities.
The Iraqi armed forces confronted an attack by ISIS against Al-Ramadi city in Al-Anbar governorate, inflicting heavy losses in person and equipment. Meanwhile, the armed forces shelled ISIS positions in Al-Bu Faraji to the north of Al-Ramadi before storming in and regaining control of the city, which led to human and material casualties. The Iraqi forces also confronted an attack by ISIS against BG refinery in Salahuddin governorate. On the other hand, an explosion of a booby-trapped car southwest of Baghdad led to several deaths and injuries. The Times newspaper has published a long article entitled "The Worst Cultural Sabotage" by Michael Bunyan, in which he said that the systematic sabotage and eventual destruction of the historical city of Nimrud would have dire consequences on the world's museums, like the British Museum, the Louvre in Paris, and other museums that contain artistic masterpieces that go back to the time of the Assyrian capital Nimrud. Bunyan further added that ISIS terrorists have deliberately destroyed the invaluable ruins in Syria and Iraq by using hammers and electrical saws. He concluded by saying that the same has been witnessed by the Nazis who sabotaged the Russian cultural sites and masterpieces and leveled to earth the Polish city Warsaw during the Second World War. Le Figaro newspaper has quoted member of the EC in charge of justice, consumers and gender equality, Vera Jourova, as saying that the number of the Europeans who have headed to Syria to fight with ISIS has amounted to thousands. 1,500 of them are French. She pointed out that the European Commission intends to tighten its security measures rather than imposing oppressive measures because such measures are very late for halting any attempts by the terrorists to go to Syria to fight there. Deputy Special Envoy to Syria, Mr. Ramzi Azzeddin, has said that the United Nations would work with the Syrian government to ensure the safety of the Palestinians and Syrians living in Al-Yarmouk camp, where ISIS is trying to control. In a statement given to Reuters, Ramzi has voiced complete satisfaction and trust that there would be a very good cooperation between the UN and Syria. On the other hand, Palestinian factions have denounced the contradictory statements by the PLO regarding what is going on in Al-Yarmouk camp, adding that such statements utterly disregard the agreement reached by these factions and the Syrian government. Saudi jet fighters have continued raids on Yemen, targeting many areas and killing scores of civilians. A security source in Ib Governorate, south of the capital Sana'a, has said that these raids claimed the lives of 12 people belonging to the same family. He added that the Saudi jet fighters have also raided other areas, killing tens of civilians, among them women and children. Moreover, Yemeni security sources have confirmed the news that Saqam and Nahuka areas in the Saudi city of Najran have been captured by the Yemeni Hamdan bin Zayd tribe, situated along the Saudi-Yemeni borders after it had seized other areas earlier. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani asserted that the conflicts which are instigated by some countries in the region are detrimental to all Muslims, emphasizing the need for political solutions to resolve the problems. Concerning the nuclear issue, Rouhani pointed out that important steps were taken during the nuclear negotiations between Iran and the 5+1 countries, and those steps were represented in the temporary Geneva Agreement, as well as in a package of measures that were supported by the International Atomic Energy Agency, coincided with easing some sanctions that had been imposed on Iran. Al-Ajami is one of the ancient Damascene handicrafts. This profession is confined within specific families in Damascus.
Al-Ajami is one of the ancient Damascene handicrafts that were used to decorate the architectural buildings such as the Umayyad Mosque. This profession is confined within specific families in Damascus and to teach only one of the sons of the same family. The most important families that worked in Al-Ajami, just like Utabashi, Khayyat, and Riz.
The real name of Al-Ajami is the Damascene paints. It's one of the ancient Damascene handicrafts that is related to the Damascene professional maker.
The types of Al-Ajami is plant and geometric decorations. The decorations with color is only called Al-Hariri. And when they use a paste, then it's called plant and geometric decorations. Before Islam, motifs used animals' shape. The Persians used the shapes of animals and humans in their Al-Ajami decorations. But after that, Islam denied these motifs and became only floral and geometric motifs.
With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news, but after a short break.